Welcome back, YouTube model building community. Chris Chapman here, Rusty Mutt's Model Shop. We are going to continue on with our rusting tutorials. And as what we're going to work on today is chrome parts. How to weather the chrome parts. So basically we'll be going over my methods of kind of buggering up the chrome, making it look weathered and it's like it's been sitting outside for a bit. This is pretty much my way that I learned it from Dr. Cranky. So I'm going to share with you Dr. Cranky's method. Most of you guys have already seen this. Part of this is I'm going to go ahead and get going on the exhaust, of which we will be doing and starting off with the stainless steel Model Masters metalizer. I usually keep a couple cans of this stuff around just so that I can blast it real quick and it's ready to go. We will be using some Rust-Oleum primer. This is the rust color, and we will also be doing some Color Master. This one's red oxide. So those are going to give us our two different kind of shades. You can see the difference in color. Now as we do this, we will also need matte finish or a dull coat. And this is about the only time that I use primers and clear coats in a rattle can like this. Usually I go with my Future. But there's a certain way to do this to make it look like it's being weathered without a lot of work. I mean, it's very simple. While we're at it, I am going to go ahead and start to do the rusting on and doing the motor, getting it ready to go. So we will be using the salting technique, or the chipping technique, I'm sorry. So we will be using Aquanet Hairspray on the motor. I'm a fan of this. I've had a lot of people turn around and say that they can't seem to get it to work right. But for some reason, I've never had a problem with the Aquanet, and this is the one that Dr. Cranky shows and he used at the time. I went and bought a can of it because of that. You could try other hairsprays and stuff. I'm sure it all going to work the same. And if there is issues, it's probably something to do with the way the parts are prepped and everything. So, without hopefully making this a shorter video, we're going to go ahead and get started. Try to get this done as quickly as we can. Typically, I don't spray this stuff inside my room here, but I've doubled up my filter. I've doubled up the filter and stuff to try to help keep chemicals and things down. And we're going to be using very, very little, so I believe we'll be okay. See, my birds are already thinking, hey, what are you doing? Okay. I'll get this turned on. It's going to be a little noisy as we do this. And that's it. That's my exhaust for now. The thing that I like about the metalizers is when you're doing this, it's already dry. I can pick it up and touch it and everything. Come on, go back in there. So showing up here at the end. No fingerprints, no nothing. It's dry that quick. This here fan's a little noisy. I'm sorry, but this is what we get to work with. Now, Oh, I thought I had to sneeze. Sorry about that. We're going to go ahead and get started with this. I'm about out of this, so this will be a good opportunity to try to get rid of the last of this. There we go. Now this here, it spits with quick blast. So we're going to take the chrome hubs, we're going to hold it back. I don't even know if I'm going to get enough to come out. Well, that finishes that can off. Feels like there's a little more in there, but it's not wanting to work. It's okay. Probably should have had this stuff all shaken up ready to go, but at the time I didn't think about it. I kind of pre-shook them up a little bit, but these little gloves, the dishwashing gloves, you can pick them up for like $1.99 for 2 of them. You can see I've got all kind of colors of paint and everything on this thing. Perfect for this kind of application. Keeps your hands clean on this stuff that doesn't just wash off with soap. So as you do it, you can get your glove all dirty. When it gets a lot of buildup on it, you turn it around and throw it in the purple pond. Let it eat the paint away, and then dry it all out, clean it really good, and you're good to go again. Very cheap, $2.99, keep your hands nice and clean. You see, I want to just kind of tap this. Now, just a quick little bursts on it. You can see how it kind of shows the rust. You can still see chrome on it. That's nice. I like it a lot. Just quick little bursts. You want some parts rustier than others. Now on the mirror, you want it on the back side. So this is much easier doing this outside, where you can actually hold the part away, spray it, then move the part into the mist. But I just don't have a way to really tape it out there. See, getting just a little bit of rust speckles on some of this. Let's do the windshield wipers. Oh, kind of got a big blast on that. If you get too much on there like I just did here, I don't want it to be that corroded. Just take a Q-tip, and while it's still wet, you can wipe a lot of that off. Kind of rub it. There we go. See now? That looks much better. Just quick little blasts. Now we come to the bumpers. You can see I blasted it on quite heavy on the bumpers. Again, I'm kind of just dab some of this off. This gives it a pitted look. I'll show you here in just a minute. So this stuff here dries very, very quickly. So you want to hop right on it. And keep in mind, you can do as much weathering or as little as you want. This is going to be a rusty bucket. So there I go. Door handles. Hold it way back. You can see just a little bit on it. This stuff doesn't need it. Then I'll take the grill. You can still see a chrome finish and sheen through there. See if I can hide some of that light. But yet it still has a rusted, pitted look to it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and blast my motor. There's my motor. It's got good coverage on it. Now if you notice and look, there's no seams. Everything nice and neat. Still got my drain box right there. Nice and clean. No seams along that section as in my previous videos. Love the way that looks. Now I'm going to sit that in there, let it dry for a minute. While that dries, I'm going to do this differently. And it's dry, so I'm going to set it off to the side. I'm going to take my matte finish, again, hold it back, and just spritz it on. I want some shininess, but I want some dull. Like door handles. Those I want dull. Now we've got ourselves a light sheen to it. these lights aren't going to do a lot of good. You can see there's some chrome, some just kind of dulled out, and then you got your rust. We're going to be messing these up some more here in a little bit with some washes as well. So we'll get this. There we go. This here again will be done using some washes. Get fixed up or cleaned up pretty good that way. So that takes care of that aspect. Now something I gotta point out to you and make it very, very, very clear. The hairspray technique that I'm going to show you is called chipping. You turn around and you put your paint down. You can do this with acrylics and stuff. I did it like this just because I have this all set up. I'm going to be painting this motor green. That's the color that it came in normally, or from the factory. So what we're going to do is I'm going to douse this with hairspray. You do not want to use a hair dryer on the hairspray. It evaporates it and keeps the agents that stick to it and has them evaporate. This hairspray puts on a coat of a sticky substance that goes on there. Then when it dries, when you put an acrylic water-based paint over the top of it, is all you have to do is get it, that paint after it's dry, wet, and then just kind of rub it, and the hairspray prevents the water to getting underneath to the colors underneath it. So it's going to keep this color here on it. Then wherever I rub off with the water and some other stuff, I'll show you how I do that when it's ready. You kind of scrape this and rub it, and the more you chip at it, the more it pulls the paint away from the motor, the body, or whatever you're doing. That ends up leaving the color that's underneath it exposed with the rest of it, and it makes it look like it's chipped and flaked off. And so a quick understanding of the reason that this works is because this here will stick to that and basically waterproof the under layers. And as it waterproofs it, you're allowed to use water-based paints that, once activated with water again, pull that paint away. This is the chipping effect. We'll go ahead and get our hairspray on, and this stuff here has a scent. If any of you guys have daughters or wives and stuff that use this stuff, you know what I mean. It's better sprayed outside. But we'll go ahead and do it here. Won't take much. Goes on very quick as well. You want to douse it. You can see how wet that is. Now you just want to let this air dry. Doesn't take very long. It's been a while since I've done this, so I can't tell you exactly, but it doesn't take too long. So that is how I do my pitting and stuff. Get my glove off here. And you can see now that it's kind of drying, still got a nice kind of shine and sheen to it, but yet you can still see rust sticking out through it. So this is going to be great when I go and get the wash on it. And come to think of it, on this grill, I really want to wash this up nice. And so that I don't reactivate stuff. Actually, I don't need to do that. Never mind. I'm going to do it different. So I'm going to go ahead and let these things here dry, give it a little bit of time, and once I get that done, we will go ahead and add to it. I will be back in a bit. Bye. Alright, we've given this some time to dry. We've got the wheel hubs. We're going to go ahead and take these and clip them off. One thing that I've done is on the back, you can see I have sanded off the chrome plating where it's going to be sticking. That's where my glue is going to be going. Glue does not stick to chrome plating. So you need to make sure that you get the chrome scraped off. I just, used my sanding stick and sanded it real quick. So let me get these clipped off, of which again I'll clip them back a little bit, then I'll use these to clip them off. So I'll get these all clipped off and ready to put on, then we'll come back. Alrighty. Go ahead and get these installed. Let's get some glue, stick it down the side there and dab it on. I like to do each one of these individually. I guess you can't really see that down there because I'm hiding it, huh? Again, you guys have all done this before. Get a little bit of super glue down in there, CA glue. You just take it, you stick it on there. Give it a second to dry. And you can see what it looks like with a rusty, somewhat shiny chrome, dirty, has some oxidation on it and stuff. It's exactly what we was looking for. So I will go ahead and get the rest of these put together and get them onto the chassis, and I will come back at that point. Alright. Here we've got the chassis with the wheels on it. Looks pretty good. Nice and straight. Got the fuel tank on. So that leaves the motor and the exhaust, of which we will be doing separate video on that. So that'll pretty much finish up the chassis, and we will go ahead and start the next series with the motor and the exhaust and get that done in the next video. Once that gets done, we will go ahead and move on to the interior and the body. So thanks for tuning in, watching the videos, and thanks for all the comments and everybody following along. So I'll go ahead and get the next one started as soon as I get this one uploaded. Again, Chris Chapman, Rusty Nuts Model Shop. Thanks for watching. Bye.